For more on the environmental impact of cruises, Daniel Kreeger joins me from Miami. He's the executive director and co-founder of the Association of Climate Change Officers. Daniel, you must really hate this new ship, Icon of the Seas by Royal Caribbean.
Well, I got to tell you, I actually drove by it today by total coincidence. I'm sitting here driving in an EV that I specifically purchased so that I could be doing the things that I need to do in contributing to the reduction of emissions. You know, we've got a challenge in the cruise industry. It's not going away. People want a vacation, but they need to do better. And Royal Caribbean has a real challenge. They started their investment in this particular ship 8 years ago, and they didn't have the technology to meet the reductions that they had committed to. So we've seen their emissions go up. And while this is a wonderful jewel, it's not getting the job done.
Well, they're very excited about this liquefied natural gas, or LNG, but you believe this is still problematic.
Yeah, so LNG is a challenge. It is both correct to say that it burns more efficiently with less greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere, but because of the life cycle of it, you're going to have more methane, which is more potent in the short term and is actually more dangerous overall. You also still have the pollution going into the water, which we often don't talk about enough, and that's causing real substantial challenges to marine systems, which are part of our food chain.
And then there's this whole issue of sewage and wastewater.
Sewage, wastewater, black soot, which will also rest either on ice or on the ocean floor, all of the above. We've got to find solutions for keeping this stuff from harming the environment upon which we are dependent. And the challenge to the industries is to level up what they're doing. And right now, what they've done is not enough.
So if the cruise industry, if Royal Caribbean came to you, Daniel, and said, all right, you've got some brilliant ideas, what are the solutions? What would you tell them?
Well, so for one of the promising looking fuel options down the road is going to potentially be methanol. And there'll be other alternative fuel options, even potentially nuclear. Sort of compact nuclear solutions. I think we're going to have a lot more different sorts of energy solutions coming on board. I think, honestly, what they're going to have to start doing is figuring out how do they operationalize climate change into engineering decisions, into every role in the organization. This is a massive transformation. I've talked about this on this network. We've got to educate and train people to design and plan for a different world than the one that we've been in, and that's building an army of climate-smart professionals and designers.
And a lot of the people who are on these cruises, I mean, I don't want to be insulting to everybody, but a lot of them just want to go and vacation and have a good time and relax. And it sounds like people on these cruises generate 8 times more carbon on cruise ships than on land. That is staggering to me.
Well, it is, but it's going to be a tough transformation if we're relying upon educating 8 billion people about every single action they take. This is a lot different than, and a lot less transparent than, say, when you go look at the calories on food that you buy in packaging in the grocery store. And maybe that's actually something that should be more transparent. But that's a tough thing to pass along to the consumer. I think the businesses are going to have to figure out how to do this. I think consumers need to get smarter. And as a society, we want the lavish things, but they come at a consequence.
You're absolutely right about that. Daniel Kreeger, thank you very much.